Hello, everybody. This is Jacob Sapochnik with the Enchanting Lawyer podcast. Welcome. This is a show where we interview the most inspiring entrepreneurs from all over the world who share their ideas with us and inspire us actually to do our work better. And today we have a special guest, Derral Eves. And we often talk about different things that we can do to build our businesses. And I'm excited to have Derral here because he's one of the few who mastered the craft of what he does. Derral Eves is a highly experienced marketer and has a lot of success in online marketing and video marketing. His passion is YouTube, videos and video marketing, which made him one of the few in the world to be officially certified by YouTube in audience growth. With this, he believes that unique clients deserve unique solutions and thrives on helping his clients finding the answers to help them succeed online and in this very, very unique medium. And Derral, welcome to the show. I'm very, very excited to have you here today.
Oh, I'm excited to be here, Jacob. Thanks for having me on.
And why don't you tell our listeners where are you today? I know you're at home, but tell us.
Yeah, no, I'm actually not at home. I have an office. I have a couple offices. I'm in my Southern Utah office right now.
In Utah.
Yeah. Excellent. So I'm just basically a few miles outside of Zion National Park. It's very beautiful.
That's what I wanted to hear from you. Most of us are sitting in our offices, clicking away, and you're just not far from Zion, which is, if you've never been there, one of the most beautiful parks that we have here in the country.
No, I love it. I love where I lived, and I love the opportunity to utilize the internet and YouTube specifically, because I can live anywhere in the world and do what I love, which is awesome. I love it. Right.
Excellent. So before we dive in, Derral, why don't you tell us just briefly what got you into marketing and specifically into YouTube marketing? And again, you really took it to the next level. Became and I know it's not easy to be certified by YouTube, but you've done it. So just tell us briefly about your journey, and then we'll dive into this exciting journey.
For sure, Jacob. I mean, for me, I always have been a part of marketing and an entrepreneur since at a young age. And that's what I decided to study in school. And I actually got my degree in marketing and advertising. And when I left, I went to work as an assistant director for a public relations company. And one of the contracts that we had was with the regional hospital. And I really just didn't like it. I hated people telling me how much I could make. And I was able to save a whole bunch of money. I asked for a $10,000 raise, and they wouldn't grant it to me. So I basically quit and started my own company. And that was back in 1999. And I basically started out as someone that was doing internet marketing, graphic and web design, and a little bit of video at that time. As it, increased, I was trying to really find the best traffic ways to generate traffic online. And, I would do the top techniques and so on. Well, in 2005, I was on Craigslist, and I saw this ad for a new video platform. And I was always interested in video, so I actually clicked on the ad, and it took me to youtube.com. And not a lot of people know this, but YouTube was actually giving away free iPods, those big old brick iPods, for an early adopter. And if you get so many people to actually sign up to YouTube. And I actually am one of the individuals that have that free iPod that they were giving away. So I was a way early adopter. And even before, the next year where Google actually purchased them for, was it $1.3 billion, is ridiculous. But, the early adopter, and the reason why I was doing it is because I found that video was a very powerful way to communicate and get your message across to your target audience. And at that time, I did a lot of local marketing. So I worked with doctors, dentists, lawyers, furniture stores, healthcare professionals, so on and so forth. And I found that, a good video would generate a lot of traffic, and that traffic would actually convert into actual patients or sales. And so, a lot of the things that I would do during that time, this is 2006, is when I started to rank those videos on Google. And Jacob, even to this day, I ranked hundreds of videos, and even to this day, almost all those videos are still on page 1 of Google, and I haven't even touched them in years. And before you know it, a lot of people would say, "Hey, Derral, can you do this for me and that for me?" And And a few years later, I was helping other YouTube creators to basically get their videos ranked and get more traffic and so on. And it was developing an audience. And I found that I actually had a knack for it. I actually found that I loved it and I was passionate for it. And I was able to help a lot of people really get their message out utilizing YouTube to the world while developing an audience. And that audience we would actually convert into a lot of sales, that they were able to quit their day jobs and do what they love full time. And it translated into that. And Jacob, I'll be honest with you, that when I had my first success, I was like, wow, a real big success when five guys were able to quit their day jobs and do what they love full time. And they were able to grow their audience from just tens of thousands of subscribers up to 3.1 million subscribers just in a short amount of time. I've basically cracked the formula from my perspective, and I knew what would work and what wouldn't work in developing that audience, and then converting that audience into paying customers or clients. So.
Wow. And listening to you, I'm getting so excited because I've been using YouTube, of course, not to in a level that I should be probably, and that's something that hopefully I will get from this podcast, motivate myself and others that are listening. But I can tell you, there are people always ask me, why should I even bother with video? I mean, I can pay for somebody to run my ads, and I'll get calls. I can do a nice website, a blog. Why bother with video? And I wanted to hear it from you. And we have a lot of professionals listening to the show. Why would somebody in 2015 use videos and put them on YouTube as opposed to any other form of marketing?
Yeah. Well, there's multiple reasons why you'd want to use video. Number one, I think the biggest reason is because if you have a message, if you have something that you'd like to get out, the best forum to get that information out is through video, because a picture will say 1,000 words. Well, I literally believe video will make you millions of dollars. I've seen it done. And by doing that is to have a mechanism that doesn't say, oh, that review is falsified. It's somebody, it's the owner saying that, oh, they did a review of a company and it's all written. Well, you trust that. But if the individual actually comes on in video and says, do you know what? I had the most amazing experience when I was going through some very difficult times in my life and I needed an attorney. And I was able to turn to this attorney, and they helped me eliminate some of the problems that I was facing at that time, and I'm well ahead. And that message alone, just in video form, brings credibility, and also it brings a sense of authenticity that you don't necessarily will get with any other types of medium. And that authenticity it really will transform your business, or build that audience, whatever you're looking to do. But for regular business owners or anyone that seriously has a message or a business, they need to utilize video as a part of their marketing strategy, is because more and more people are consuming video on a constant basis. And one of the stats that has been blowing my mind, even as a video marketer, is less and less people want to read content. They want to experience it, and they are generally experiencing it through video and audio.
Absolutely. And look at the new phones that come out. The new iPhones are bigger, are larger. They are designed for video. I mean, people sitting in a plane.
Are.
Most planes have Wi-Fi.
And to be honest with you, if you want to be ahead of the curve, I've been saying this for a few years now, is if you really want to be ahead of the curve in your business, you need to be on mobile and video. You need to interlace that, because that's where everything's going. I am an analytics junkie, and I literally look at a lot of analytics of a lot of channels and so on and so forth, but mostly websites. And believe it or not, more and more websites, they actually have more traffic coming from a mobile device, and more of the videos that are being consumed are being done from a mobile device than ever before. And some of them are like 60% of all traffic is coming from mobile. So,
absolutely, and and that's going to get probably bigger as we enter 2015 and in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of the things that I hear from others that are not doing video or are doing video and then stop, is that it's kind of intimidating to be on camera. Do you think that when somebody is creating video, they should be on camera, or they can do a video where you have one of those draw it, or they can do a screen flow when they can speak and explain? What are some of the more effective videos that you think are doing well?
Well, Jacob, it's all about what you're trying to accomplish. If the first thing that you're going to say, hey, we want to generate calls, we want to generate leads coming in, well, you can actually utilize video and not even have you in the video to do that. And I would encourage anyone, if they're looking for more traffic, to utilize the advertising structure that's in YouTube to help generate the leads. And what's amazing is it's super duper cheap. Even for some key terms, if you go in and buy paid per click through AdWords on Google, some industries are paying anywhere between $70 to $120 per click. That's not per lead; that's per click, and it can get super expensive. And most industries are not that way. They're probably $3 or $4 or wherever from there. Right. And, they're really paying for a lot of money for traffic. Well, the alternative would be, if you have a really high productive video that converts, some type of lead magnet that is a pre-roll video, you can get thousands and thousands of views for 3, 4, 5 cents. And it's really, really inexpensive. And the great thing about it is you can literally localize that video for anyone that actually shows up on your website, or anyone that has watched a specific video, or anyone that lives within a certain geographic location is going to see that video. And for very inexpensive, just a few $100s a month, you can get thousands upon thousands of people going to your website, or going to your landing page, or going to whatever, even picking up the phone to call. If you have a very solid video. And I've seen a video that was literally created on Fiverr. It's a little place online that you get people to do things for $5. It's spelled F-I-V-E-E. It says Fiverr.com.
Right.
And it's a great place. And I had a lady that I coach and train that she actually spent $25 for a video. And what they did is a whiteboard video, and then got someone to do a professional voiceover, and it cost her a total of $25. Now, there's a structure of how to actually create that video ad. She literally put that on the AdWords for video, that had that video show up in YouTube, and she spent anywhere about $150 or so for the first month. Well, that video was converting, and they were able to get 55 leads on that $150 to $200 that they were spending. And the crazy thing is it's a real estate company that are actually buying homes. They actually purchased a lot of homes. It was like 20 some odd homes just off of that $150 to $200. I mean, It's really ridiculous of what you can do when you actually set it up right. So there is a formula. Like I said, I cracked the code. I understand how it works. But it's that formula to take someone from the point of watching to purchasing, or picking up the phone to do that specific call to action. So to answer your question, I know there's a long way to do that. It really depends on what you're looking to accomplish with that video. So whiteboard videos might work. Other types of videos might work. It really depends on what you're doing. Now, if you're trying to build an audience, you definitely need to be in front of the camera. I've never seen it happen through, when I say never, I've never seen it happen consistently through videos that are just whiteboard. That's just basically the verbiage. I mean,
Right.
they need to resonate with someone, and it's that creator or the personality that's on the video.
And that's what I wanted to hear, because if you're trying to just be there and have presence on YouTube just so you can, it's another space, then yes. But if you want to build an audience, just like you said, you have to show your personality, and even if it's intimidating, it's worth it probably to do it.
Yeah, it can get quite awkward at times, but the most important thing is just realizing people connect to people, not necessarily to messages. And so
Right.
they really, really connect with people that have a strong message that resonate with them. And that's how you build an audience. You're actually creating a sense of culture and community with that audience. And you
Right.
can either do that on YouTube or off YouTube.
Absolutely. And then, Derral, you mentioned something about this formula before, and I'm thinking, telling stories and how you relay information in your videos is very, very important. Well, don't crack the code, but give us a few, snippets of what a good video formula for YouTube could be.
Oh, I'll just tell you the code. I mean, it's just simple. I mean, the first thing you got
Excellent.
to do is realize, Jacob, that somebody's going to watch your video for just a short amount of time. You literally have
Right.
5 to 7 seconds, and you need to grab their attention in that first 5 to 7 seconds. So something that would grab their attention and keep them watching. That's the most important thing. So that's the first thing that you have to do. Then after that, you have just a little bit of leeway. You have about 20 seconds. If you can grab their attention, you have about 20 seconds of their attention before they skip or go to another specific video that's showing up in their feed or whatever. So during that time, just keep in mind you need to keep their interest and curiosity, and then you can do this as an option. You can actually bring in some branding. I have like a little bumper that I use on my YouTube channel that's like 4 seconds. And then I go right into the next section, which is reiterating why they're watching the video and what they're actually going to learn through the process, because I do how-to videos. Now, keep in mind, this formula works for music videos. It works for ads. It works for everything. It really does. And so that middle section is keep them watching and teach them what they need to do, or explain to them what they need to do, or entertain them. And then the last part would be, that strong call to action. You need to have a call to action of what they need to do next. Now, this formula has worked across the board. It works for musicians. I do a lot with musicians. And you literally need to grab their attention in the first 5 to 7 seconds. And then the video needs to be able to be appealing enough with the music to keep them watching the whole time, and then have a call to action. And the call to action might be just the musician gets on and say, hey, we'd love you to subscribe to the channel and check out some other of our videos. That could be the call to action. Or, oh, by the way, if you want this free music, click on this website. We're able to trap that information. We're able to pixel them, and also, get their name and email address to do that as well. So, there's multiple ways that you're able to do it, but the formula is always the same. You need to grab their attention. You need to do some branding in it, keep their attention, and have a strong call to action. And if you really look to see the most powerful videos that you've watched, there's only 3 types of videos. But all 3 types of videos keep this formula. And it doesn't matter if they're long form videos or short form videos. And it's basically the videos is inspiring you, they're either educating you, or they're entertaining you. And sometimes the really, really good videos do 2 of those. They educate and inspire, or they, educate and entertain, or the really, really good videos are educating, entertaining, and inspiring, all in the same sense. And it gets the person, so they feel a part of that video, or they feel something a part of that video that they want to share it. And that could be that one call to action. And so the formula is really easy. And to be honest with you, it works, and you can notice it from TV or Netflix or so on. With TV, they would always have that suspense part right before the ads,
Right.
so they kind of keep you hanging. Well, that's a technique that you would be using to keep them watching, through the whole video. So you might tease a little bit of content or so on, explain that you'd be, giving them something a little bit further that just keep them watching. Does that make sense, Jacob?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because sometimes people will click on a video and then 5 seconds after they skip to the next one and never stay. And you want to make sure that they stay throughout the video. Maybe you want to give them a download at the end. Maybe you're going to give them some sort of a surprise that they should wait. And you build it.
Or even it's like the content that they're waiting for, and you're kind of leading up to that.
It's at the end,
So
right?
I mean, it really depends. Yeah.
And so this is great. So first of all, thanks for sharing the formula, and this is
Oh,
great.
for sure.
We'll put it in the show notes as well. But I'm curious. So we have this formula. We try to do our videos great, but how do those videos that go viral get those viral activity? Is there any extra boost that you can suggest for, let's say, professional business? We do nice videos, and we hope that it's going to go viral, kind of like the Dollar Shave Club. If you
Yeah.
remember that video. Do you find that there is some sort of a common ground for those viral activity videos, or it's just kind of pure luck, or not?
Well, let me kind of explain my philosophy on viral videos. I don't believe in viral videos, and what I mean by that is sustainable viral videos, doing
Right.
more than one. You might have a one-hit wonder, and you might get picked up on YouTube and so on and so forth. But the ones that really go after and get millions upon millions of views have a strong campaign that's behind them, and they understand the dynamics of that. And yes, are they creating a video that is shared and liked and commented on and it's making a splash? Yeah. Well, you'd say, well, that's viral. Well, I'm saying
Right.
no, it's not. It's literally having strategic thought and a strategic campaign of what they're going to execute to have it take off. And basically, all you're doing is using YouTube as a medium to do that. Now, you mentioned Dollar Shave Club,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, hey, you know what? Well, they have more than just one video that has reached more than 100 or 10 million video views and so on and so forth. But the difference is they actually paid for a lot of that traffic. They paid for a lot of for that exposure. And what I mean by
Right.
that is it was an actual ad that they would run beforehand and get people's attention, and then they'd watch the whole video because the ad was captivating
Right.
enough, and then they started to share it. But they actually did it through advertising, and there are other examples that have done that. Aura Brush was basically the pioneer in that. Jeffrey Harmon and the guys at Aura Brush, and the realistic way of doing this is you want to be able to get as much as you possibly can views and interaction on a video, but to say that every video you're going to do is to take off and it's going to go viral, it's not necessarily realistic, and I don't think that it should be a goal for anyone that's doing video. What their goal should be is, let's see how many views that we can actually do, and then let's see how many views can actually translate into dollars. Let me give you a perfect example of this. Before I have jumped on this podcast with you, I'm just kind of going over a case study that I put together for a specific client. Now, they had a really, really good video. We knew that this video was going to be good, and we knew that we had a plan of attack to get a lot of video views and have it really take off. And then we had a plan to actually go through and have a monetized schedule and formula where they are able to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they were able to make money through ad revenue that was generated on the video, but we knew that this would be a bigger hit, and we knew that it would be shared. We just didn't know how big it was going to be. Now, a lot of people would say, do you know what? The video went viral. It has 19 million views right now. But from our perspective, it was just executing a plan, and it took off, a marketing plan, and it took off. And because of that, they made a lot of money. I can't disclose the money that they made on the revenue, but they also had merchandise that they were selling, and they made a lot of money on that as well. And it was all because it was a plan. Well, this is a consistent plan, and they were able to do that on other videos. And other videos got millions of views, not just 19 million. But in my eyes, I think that people can do that consistently when they build that audience. And the bigger the audience, the easier it is to accomplish what you want. And there are YouTube creators that have 5-8 million
Right.
subscribers, and they can get 5 or 8 million views in a couple days. And that doesn't mean that video went viral.
Right.
It just means that they built that audience, and there's a lot of people wanting that content. Does that make sense, Jacob?
Yeah, of course, because they already have the audience.
Exactly.
But if somebody's starting out and they have, let's say, 500, 300 subscribers, and suddenly they get 100,000 views on a video, that's something big for them, right? Because they don't have that many subscribers, and the audience is small, and the video got some good attention. So
Yeah,
you kind of measure it depending on what.
the question that would be is, if they're not using that formula. I've seen people get millions of views, and they didn't ever grow their audience. I mean, they might have got a couple, like 10, 20,000 subscribers, but the next video came out and they lost 10 to 20,000 subscribers, because it's all about consistency.
You have to deliver the content the way
Exactly.
you did it, right? Other people will they don't have a loyalty if you don't deliver what they want,
Exactly.
right? Now, Derral, we talked about views, but I know people often talk about comments and what is the importance of comments and keeping up with that. And why don't you share with us and explain to us, first of all, how do we get people to comment on our videos, and what is the importance of comments on videos?
Well, commenting is very important because the reason what you're trying to do, if you're really trying to make it big in any aspect, you're trying to build a community.
Right.
And when people comment, they have watched a video long enough to say, oh my goodness, I need to leave this message for either the creator or anybody else that's watching this video. And there will be people that will comment on the comments and create this interaction. Well, what they're doing is creating a community around it, and people that like the content are engaged. And the more engaged they are, the more fanatical they are to watch other videos and interact more so with that. Now, in the past, YouTube used that as a ranking factor. Oh, if it has so many comments and so on and so forth. And they don't necessarily do that as much now. Mm-hmm. However, what happens when someone comments, their YouTube channel, and when they're commenting, it's attached to their Google Plus profile. And those comments are indexed by Google. And anyone that is searching something similar to that are going to see those comments in the search results. And that's going to actually have the annotation and also video that they're commenting on showing up in their feed. And so it really creates a lot of leverage for a video because people are engaged on that video. And as they're engaged, it's making more and more of a footprint on the internet for that video. So in reality, comments do help videos grow because it gives it more exposure. Mm-hmm. But does it show up for the ranking value on when you search in the search results of YouTube? Not necessarily. They have other ranking factors they do there. But ultimately, it's getting people to feel a part of something. And I would encourage anyone, if you get a comment, for the first couple days that you're doing the video, if you get a ton of comments, is to reply back. When I release a video, I comment literally. I have a 48-hour rule where I comment on every single comment for that specific video in 48 days. After 48 days, there's a way to kind of moderate and see the comments that are coming in. And I just comment on the ones that are worthy of commenting, or they're asking a specific question.
Right.
So.
And I get them in the email. So I get an email as soon as somebody's commenting on a video. So I'll try to comment within 24 hours just to show that we are on the channel, and
and I turn that feature off because I get over 10,000 comments a day.
Of course.
So.
For you, it's probably there's a different way to monitor it. But
yeah, for sure.
For us,
there's actually YouTube makes it really easy that you can go and moderate all your comments. They have
from
a little
inside. From the inside.
From the video manager.
Excellent. So, Derral, as we come to the end of our show, I wanted you to maybe perhaps share with our audience. I'm wondering, where is YouTube going in the next year, 5 years, and some predictions and tips that you can share for people that are starting out in YouTube or already doing, but not there yet.
Yeah. So YouTube is going in a very interesting direction, and they've modified a lot of their platform to be mobile responsive. And so, like I said, mobile and video are converging at a very fast rate. Now, when I say YouTube, I'm going to just say this for video in general. Mm-hmm. Everyone needs to have video as part of their content marketing strategies, or they're going to be left behind, because more and more people are literally turning to video than they are any other types of ways of their online presence. And keep in mind that there are a lot of people now that aren't using Google as their search engine anymore. They're using YouTube, and it's the number 2 search engine in the world, and they would rather see something or watch the video than to get a search result and read a blog post. And so I'd encourage everyone to, be ahead of the curve, because it's just getting more and more defined. There's getting more and more definition between the written content and video. It's just picking up quite a bit every day. And the reality is this: we just had the Super Bowl not too long ago, and there's a ton of people that actually watch the Super Bowl. Well, every day there's at least 40 Super Bowls on YouTube. Now, what I mean by that is the audience size of the Super Bowl times that by 40, and that's what people are watching every day on YouTube. And so there's a lot of opportunity out there, and more people are shutting off cable, and they're just getting their content
Yep.
on YouTube and Netflix, and it's moving in a very interesting direction. So what I would encourage everyone to do, where everybody's going, is create a community around what you do best, and get people that are interested in that. And as you do that, you can utilize them to help you promote what your message is all about. And whether that's on Facebook, whether that's on YouTube, that's what I encourage everybody to do. And to utilize video as one of the main mediums that you use to get your content and your message out.
Excellent. This is great tips, and hopefully people will be inspired and to do more of that. Derral, if somebody wants to find you, or our audience wants to find you online, what is the best place to connect with you if you want to share with us verbally, and we'll put those in the show notes as well.
Yeah. So there's two places. You can either go to derraleves.com, and it's spelled DerralEves.com, or you can go to youtube.com/Derral Eves. Both have videos that are there. But I'd encourage you to do it because I give away free tips and training all the time. And it's just really my passion and my mission, I feel like, in life is really to help people that have a message get their message out to the world.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Derral, for coming on the show. And if you have any questions for what you heard here, you can email Jacob@enchantinglawyer.com or leave us a comment. And I encourage you to check Derral's YouTube channel. I know I'm going to do that today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next episode.